Yes, it is.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Mark.
And this is SmokeySteveAndMarc.
Oh, yes, it is.
Welcome, or I didn't realize how into that you get. I never looked. Welcome back, and happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody.
TGIF, indeed.
Indeed.
It's been a long week for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
But add this on to a long week for me. Mentally, it was a long week.
Yeah, it was.
You know?
It definitely it was this way. I would think we see this every week, but like every week it seems longer than the last week. So, I mean, it definitely was a long week.
I got some updates. So, Pennsylvania, they've changed the restrictions in some of the counties. And I just got an email today from my boss about our back-to-work instructions.
Oh!
Now, I didn't get one from my direct supervisor saying this is when you're coming back to work. But the basic plan is work teams, you know, half the people work Monday, Wednesday, the other folks work Thursday, Friday, and then they alternate Tuesdays. Have to get our temperature taken when we show up for work. Social distance lunches, eat in your office, not in the cafeteria. But the counties I do work in, some of them are open. So I don't know if I can leave, stay at home to go be free in the rural hinterlands so that I can go work with those.
You'll be going back to the office?
I don't know. We haven't had specific instructions. They just sent out today the company-wide ones of what we're going to be doing when we go back. And I think it'll probably be, I mean, the whole state's opening up. Yeah. We're all just throwing caution to the wind and just going to go ahead with it.
I know, I'm seeing more and more people not wearing masks and stuff, and I don't know if that's a good idea right now. I don't know. I digress too, because it is beautiful here today. It is
like
hot.
80.
It's 80 degrees and sunny. And just a few days ago, it was snowing.
Yeah, it was.
It blows my mind.
Like
I was covering all the plants. I lost 2 tomato plants because of the freeze. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh my god, I gotta water them. Like I've, like so. The weather has been just nuts. And I hear we're getting a series of storms coming in. Yeah, they're coming on our way.
The weather report said expect one big storm. It's like they've narrowed it down. There must be one solid line that's going to pass through, and the tornado watches and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have tornado watches too here again. Remember last year's tornado?
I do. I was in the basement.
Yeah,
I discovered we have a root cellar.
Yeah, he was down
I was in the basement on the phone with my mom, like, what if we die? What if we die? What if
I'm
we die?
outside
He's up here filming, living on the edge.
Oh, you know me.
No, deep down, I'm a scaredy cat. I don't want to die in a tornado.
Yeah, you definitely are a scaredy cat.
Well, I'd like to say cautious, but that's what a lot of scaredy cat people say. So, I mean, you know, it's like how lazy people try to say they're being efficient.
Yeah.
Which I do, too. Sometimes.
But in addition to it being Friday, it's also National Pizza Day here in the U.S.
It is. So,
pizza.
I enjoy pizza.
I enjoy pizza myself. And I was busy in the kitchen.
You were?
As soon as I got home from work, I ran into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And we made homemade pizza.
He did. Not we. You did.
Yes. Well, you filmed.
I helped.
That counts, and you're going to eat it.
It's like shake and bake. I helped.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to eat it. That's my part.
Definitely share that with you. And we're going to make the crust out. It's going to be a sourdough pizza crust. So I hope you have your sourdough starters ready to go. George was ready.
I don't know if I've ever had sourdough pizza crust.
Never? Really?
Not on purpose.
Well, you know what? We had it at the restaurant, so I don't know if it's that popular, but it's just normal for me, you know. Yeah. Like, well, we had regular, but we also had sourdough.
Yeah.
And we had wheat, and we had gluten-free. I think we had too many kinds of crusts for not being a pizzeria. Yeah. I mean, we were a restaurant, you know. Yeah. But you know, so I'm excited to share that with everybody. So
cool. What is that? A shout out so early in the video?
I think it might be.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready?
No.
Get ready.
I'm lying. I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay. All right. All right.
This week's shout out goes to Cher in Swoyersville, Pennsylvania.
Cher in Swoyersville?
Swoyersville?
Oh my God. Cher. You get confetti because you get a shout out.
You know, there's glitter on some of this.
We love confetti here.
Glitter's like sand at the beach. You never get it off. So,
it's true.
It's true. Anyway, let me just get this off of here. Okay. Cher, we live in Pennsylvania too, and actually Swoyersville is in Luzerne County.
I was going to ask you, it's close, right?
It's the next county over from us. I mapped it. You're about half an hour away.
Cher, we're neighbors.
Yeah, I could just hop on 81 and I'd be there. It was originally called Swoyerville, after the mine owner John Henry Sawyer, but in the 1950s the town had a special vote to add an S.
Oh, wow.
Must have been a slow year in politics.
Yeah,
If they had to put S on the ballot.
They actually did just to add an why?
I don't know. It was
they didn't like the sound of the Sawyerville.
You know, small towns.
Yeah,
you know, I grew up in a small town.
Yeah,
people get hot about small stuff. So, coal mining was the chief industry up until the 1950s.
No surprise because Scranton,
this is coal country.
Yeah,
I grew up in Carbondale, Valley of the Coal.
Yes.
So, you know,
that is true.
That was the hometown.
Everything's anthracite.
Anthracite. The first anthracite railroad around here. We have a coal mine tour in Scranton.
Yes, we do, which we never went on.
They were worried, actually. 1972, Hurricane Agnes did a lot of flooding. I know you don't think hurricanes in Pennsylvania because we're so far up and we're inland, but it came up the coast, went inland, and just spun over upstate New York and Pennsylvania and just dropped a bunch of rain. And they were worried it was actually going to flood the mines that were left over. Fortunately, it didn't. But so that's part of their claim to fame. And there's a lot of freaking athletes from Sawyersville.
Really?
Either that or the guy who wrote the Wikipedia article only liked athletes.
Oh.
So, yeah. It was a lot college athletes, pro athletes, a couple local politicians. There was a guy who was from the House of Representatives. No big celebrities like famous whoever. Right. But there's some accomplished folks who've come out of Sawyersville.
Oh, cool.
So
you don't have any names?
No, I don't have the names of any.
Oh, okay.
There was too many.
That's fairly generic.
I was afraid I would leave somebody out.
Okay, we'll go with that. All right.
I'm sorry. Cher, you know there's not a lot to say about Sawyersville. I'm sure it's very cute.
I'm sure it is too. I've never been there. I can't believe it's that close. I've never seen it. I have heard of it, but I've never been there.
I do know that they have like a small local theater, the Music Box Inn, I think it is, and it's a non-profit theater group where they performed for people.
Oh, that's cool.
So that is one of the local, I think, attractions. And then it's a lot of like Coal Town stuff, like bar on every corner.
Yeah.
I imagine if it's like my hometown, you know, working class folks.
Yeah.
Which are always fun to have a drink with if you're a drinker. They have good stories.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool.
Yeah. So local, hey, holla, NEPA.
NEPA.
Northeast NEPA, Northeast PA.
Pennsylvania. Yeah. Okay. So, Cher, today we celebrate you.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a viewer.
Oh,
we
definitely.
Appreciate it.
Yes. Of course we do. And if you would like your name on our shout-out list, if you would like a shout-out yourself, just leave your name and where you're from in the comments below, and we'll add you to our list. We pick them randomly. Very, very random. It's just... He pretty much closes his eyes.
He holds the clipboard and I start doing
until you land on somebody.
Until I land on someone, because we keep track of everyone who was.
Yeah, so we don't repeat.
And because once a month or so, we'll pull out the last few people who were called for shout-outs, and you have a chance to win one of Marc's homemade candle holders, which double very well as holders for many other things, too.
Oh, yes, like pens.
Put a pen in it.
Yeah. I suppose you could put a plant in it.
You could. You definitely could.
I know. The point is that if you get a shout-out, you have a chance to win one.
Exactly. So, yeah, just leave your name and where you're from. Hello.
I gotta clean this.
Yes, you do have to clean.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it, I guess. For you, it better be worth it, because I'm not cleaning.
So on that note, should we have some pizza?
I think we should have some pizza.
All right.
I'm dying. It's Friday.
I know.
It's a good night for pizza.
Day for pizza and a National Pizza Day. Oh my gosh.
It's all coming together.
I know. And I have to say, special shout out to Mare. You know who you are, Mare? For giving me the idea to make pizza on National Pizza Day.
Yeah?
Yeah. She sent it to me a little earlier in the week. I'm like, oh, that would be perfect. All right.
Good stuff.
So here's a recipe for homemade pizza. Yeah. Hi guys, how are you? So today, in honor of National Pizza Day here in the U.S., we are going to make some homemade pizza featuring a homemade sourdough pizza crust. Oh yeah. So I hope you have your sourdough starters ready to go. George is, oh yeah, you have to name your starter. And what I mean by having your starter ready to go is, a few hours before you want to make your pizza, you want to feed your starter. And if you're following along with me, I feed it half a cup of flour to a quarter cup of warm water and stir it up, put them somewhere a little bit warm, like in the oven with the light on, and let them get all nice and bubbly and ready to go. Smells so good. Okay, so let's get to, okay, so what you need for our pizza today is 1.5 cups of your sourdough starter, all bubbly and ready to go. You're going to need approximately 5 tablespoons or so of olive oil. You're going to need about a teaspoon of regular salt. And you're going to need about, let's say, you're going to start with 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, but ultimately you're probably going to need about 2 to 2.5 cups, okay? And if you want to get creative, use whole wheat flour if you want. I think it adds a nice little taste to it, okay? But for this recipe, we're using all-purpose flour. So, in here we have 1.5 cups of flour ready to go. To that, we're going to add pretty much the rest of our ingredients. 1.5 cups of your sourdough starter, and you can just pour them in there. And again, this is not rocket science or anything. You can do approximate. You know, it's a no big deal. I'm just gonna figure out about like this. So, all right.
Well,
okay, that's good. Now, don't waste any of that yummy goodness. Put them back right in there and set them aside for later. Okay, so we have that in there. We need about, a teaspoon of salt. There we go there. And you need 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Okay. And now we're just going to mix that all together until it forms a dough. It doesn't take long. It combines pretty quickly. Okay. Go there. Okay. Now we're going to get nice messy. Knead it a little bit until your dough forms a ball, okay? It's coming together, and you'll be able to tell because it'll form a nice, smooth ball. I don't want to bore you with this, so maybe we'll come back. I don't know. You want to watch me do this for about 2 minutes? I don't think so.
as captivating as you are,
Yeah.
why don't we come back?
Okay. Okay. So that was 2 minutes, about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And we have a nice dough ball. So we're going to put that back into our bowl, just like that. And you know, here's a little tip. Give a little bit of flour in there. That'll help it from sticking. And then sprinkle a little flour on top. Just like that, and we're going to cover it with a damp towel, and we're going to put it somewhere a little bit warm, like in the oven with the light on, for about 30 minutes, okay? We'll see you then. Okay, so we let our dough rest for about 30 minutes to develop all that sourdough flavor. Now this next step, what you're going to do is turn it out onto a floured surface or a piece of parchment paper, and we are going to roll it into the shape that we want to roll it in, okay? Just like that. Now, this is also the time, if you'd like, you can add some extra flavor by adding some fresh herbs right to your dough, like so, and then give it maybe 1 or 2 kneads. Kneads, is that a word?
I don't know.
Knead it once or twice. How about that? Is that better?
That works.
Yeah, knead it once or twice. Get all that good. Ooh, it smells good. It smells great. Just like that. Okay, so this is where your flour comes in handy too. that extra cup that I said, this is where you may need it, may not. But anyway, point is, we're going to roll our dough into the shape that we want to roll it in. This recipe will make one large round pizza crust, or you could do a square one, or you could do 4 maybe little mini personal pan pizzas. This is also the time where if you wanted to, you could divide this dough, put it in Ziploc bags, and you can freeze it for later use if you'd like to. Okay, now if you don't have a pizza pan, the bottom of a springform pan works perfectly. Since it's just Steven and I eating, I'm using the bottom of my springform pan. This is a 12-inch one, and I'll have a little dough left over that I'm going to make into a personal pan pizza style, okay? So, let's get to and roll this out. Well, here, instead of boring you, you know what? We're going to roll this out, we're going to put it on our pan, and then we're going to let it rest for about another 15 to 30 minutes. That part depends on you, how fluffy you like your crust. I'm going to let mine rise for, maybe 15 minutes or so. The longer you let it rest, the more it's going to rise. So it just depends on how thick of a crust you like, as far as the rise goes. And then we're going to par bake it for 7 minutes. So I think that's a good place to stop. I'm going to do that instead of showing you every single individual step,
Can I help you by preheating the oven?
Well, I suppose you could. We're going to do a very, very hot oven. So if your oven goes up to 500, do it. If that's your cleaning cycle, go to 475. You're right. I could have been a little more simpler by saying that.
It doesn't want to work for me. There it goes. Did we hear 450?
Well, gosh, by the time you reach that, they could have been watching me do all these steps.
515, 520, 500.
No,
it's fine.
500.
Okay. You mean it won't cook faster if I make the oven just a lot hotter?
No, it won't.
I mean, I can't cook a pizza at 500.
Nope.
50 degrees. Oh, okay.
Now, another tip for you too. You could just bake this as is too. You don't have to let it do that second rise. In my personal opinion, I have found that the second rise adds additional flavor to it, and it also literally rises, so you can have a little bit more of a fluffy crust. Did you hear that? Poof.
George burped.
That was George. He's ready again. So after I use him for anything, pizza crust or anything else, I automatically feed him one more time, and then I set him away. So that's what that noise was.
Mark?
Yes?
Honey, what are you doing?
I'm just getting the toppings ready.
What do we got?
This would be tomato.
Yeah,
Okay, so we are back, and I just to backtrack a little bit, because sometimes I get ahead of myself so much, and I'm trying to get a little bit better at this, so I think I'll get a little better as time goes on. But anyway, so what we did was we turned our dough out onto the surface, and we kneaded it a little bit. We rolled it out, and we put it on our pan. We let it rise. I let this rise for 15 minutes, and you can also leave it rise up to an hour if you want. It just depends on how fluffy you like it, And then we par-baked it in a 500-degree oven for 7 minutes, and that's where we're at right now, okay? So now the fun part. We get to make our pizza. So what we have here is some pizza sauce, and this is my favorite brand. I use this at the restaurant, and I use it at home. You couldn't get this, the home version of it. You couldn't get that for the longest time, but I love this sauce. I don't even have to doctor it up or anything. I do like it, but any pizza sauce will do. We have some cheese here, and this is a blend of 6 different cheeses, actually. It's mozzarella, provolone, and then there's Asiago, Parmigiano, Romano, and Fantino, all in there. It's going to be yummy, yummy, yummy. We have our olive oil ready. Of course, pepperoni for the top, and we have diced tomato. One of my favorite toppings on any kind of pizza is fresh tomato. I just love it. Now, feel free to put any kind of toppings you want. This crust is perfect for a margarita pizza with fresh mozzarella and basil and tomato, whatever you want. We're just making a pepperoni pizza with fresh tomato on it. So, first, we're going to brush our crust with olive oil, and you can do it pretty liberally, you know, don't be shy with it. And I like to get some of it to fall down onto the pan, you know, too. And this will keep it from being a soggy crust, and it also adds so much flavor to it. All right, perfect. Next, we're gonna sauce it. Ice cream scoop. Perfect for making pizza. And I don't know if you like a real saucy pizza or a more dry pizza. I'm anxious to see what your preference is. I like right in the middle. I like, not that it's swimming in sauce, but I don't like it when there's like hardly any sauce on it either, right? And I do like to go right up to the ends too. I know some people like a crust, but I like it right to the ends. Okay. There we go there. Okay. Next, the other great debate. Do you cheese it and then put the pepperoni on it? Do you put the pepperoni on it and then bury it with cheese? There's so many different ways to do it. I prefer my toppings on top. Oh, except for my tomato. Oh, I like my tomato right on the sauce. If you haven't tried fresh tomato on a pizza, and any kind, white pizza, any kind, Hawaiian, meat, any kind, oh, it's so delicious. It's my favorite topping, actually, for a pizza is fresh tomato. As you can see, I'm using a lot. Because I do like it. Okay, perfect. Now, let's go with the cheese. I know I love cheese, so I'm going to put a lot on here. And again, this is a mix of 6 different types of cheese. A nice Italian blend here for pizza. You could go with just straight up, you know, mozzarella. I think the cheese that makes the difference in it is the Asiago. So if you just, you know, want to use mozzarella and add something to it, grab some Asiago to add on to it. Oh, it just makes it so delicious. All right. Enough cheese for you?
We're getting there.
You're good?
Yeah, right. I guess that's okay.
Okay, perfect. All right, now let's do our pepperoni. Am I going to do like half and half, or am I going to do the whole thing?
Oh, it's your call. I like pepperoni.
I like pepperoni too. I don't eat a lot of meat, but I do love pepperoni, especially on a pizza. All right. Ooh, yummy. Okay, I think that's enough. I don't want to... Nah, that's good. And finally, a little more cheese, just to give it a nice little look to it. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, perfect. Okay, and then finally, some Italian seasoning on top. Okay, and we are ready to bake. I have my little mini personal pan pizza here ready to go too. And we're going to pop this into the oven. Again, your personal preference. I know some people that like to bake their pizzas like on a low oven. Well, not low, but a medium oven like 350 and let it bake longer. I prefer like kind of like pizzeria pizza. I do a high temperature for a shorter amount of time. Now, if you're going to put like vegetables and whatnot on top of your pizza, like say you like green peppers and stuff, I would suggest giving them like maybe half cook first, because I can't stand crunchy vegetables on a pizza. Now, again, that's just me. I know some people like crunchy vegetables on a pizza. But anyway, so I have mine set at 475. And I'm going to pop these in there until the cheese is all nice and melted and my pepperoni is a little bit crunchy. And that's going to be anywhere from 8 minutes to 12 minutes. I'll keep checking. It's an electric oven, you know, what are you going to do? But I'm going to say a good middle, you know, place there, about 10 minutes or so. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you about pizza sauce, I was thinking, especially even now, like at the time that we're filming this, we're under quarantine and everything, and oh, I guess I should set my timer here. Let me set it for Oh, there's no 10 minutes on that. Here, we'll do 5 and 5. I was thinking, you know, you can call up your local pizzeria and ask for just their sauce. Most all pizzerias will be very, very happy to sell you a quart or a pint of their sauce. So if you have a favorite pizzeria, go maybe patron them and get some of their sauce. I think it would be a great way to support a local pizzeria, you know. Wish I would have thought of that before I grabbed this, because we get pizza from a place down the road that is locally owned, so that's what I'm going to do next time. Anyway, I guess we'll see you in about 10-15 minutes. Okay, bye. Okay, the time has come. So I baked this for exactly 10 minutes. Oh yeah, that's the way I like it. Yum, yum, yum. Ooh, hear it sizzle. Ooh, it smells good. I love when the cheese gets like that. I just love it. Oh, look, my pepperonis are falling off a little. Oh my goodness. Anyway, they look good. They smell good. I can't wait to dig. There's our little baby there. Here. And like I said, this recipe... Like, this is a 12-inch pizza here, but if you put them together, you could make as big as a 16-inch round pizza, a very large pizza, too. So, anyway, I wanted to also tell you, too, if you don't have a sourdough starter, you know, they have a new product out here, and it's Platinum Instant Sourdough Yeast. So it kind of skips the step of needing a starter or nurturing a starter for all that time if you don't have one that you keep all the time. So that's something brand new too. This is by Red Star. So anyway, it's called Instant Sourdough Yeast. So that'll be, you know, a little tip for you there if you want to do it without a starter. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do. Definitely please like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you next time, okay? Happy National Pizza Day!
That looked good.
Yeah, it was good, huh?
It looked good, didn't it? Oh, I love pizza.
I do too. I'm excited to eat it tonight.
Yeah.
We should have brought it in here and had a pizza party.
I know. But it does have to cool a little bit, though.
I know, I don't want to...
I mean, you don't want to
I like
everything
my pizza
off.
to like set for a good 5-10 minutes before I dig into it.
Yeah, and you have your special pizza Tupperware too.
I do. I have Tupperware in the shape of
a slice of pizza. So whenever we have pizza, I need to serve it to him in it because he prefers it that way. You do.
I like it. I mean, that's why I got it.
I'm having these plain old square containers.
You too can have a pizza Tupperware container if you want.
No, because see, if I get 2 pieces and I put them like this, it kind of like forms a square.
I know. Mine's a triangle, so if you have smaller pieces, it's hard to...
I put one in the front triangle and then jam another one on top.
I should have had a visual so you can see. It's just a Tupperware container that's in the shape of
too much. You know, I did really well in geometry. I failed all the other maths, but can't do pizza stuff.
No.
It's like when we got a pizza one time and they said to cut it into 9.
9 pieces, I know. It's odd.
Or when they say cut it into 5, I'm just not... I can't do that. I can't do it. Give me even. I can half. You know, that's
fine. You know, I mean, that's... I don't know. I mean, unless you're... Well, even a square pizza.
Yeah.
You know?
Or we'd always have, like, pizza cut into 1,000 pieces for, like, a birthday party.
Like little ones?
Little pieces. Like, my parents would order for, like, our birthdays when we were kids, and instead of 8 cuts, they'd cut it double, and we'd get 16 little slices.
Yeah.
That reminds me of being very young. Very young. Well, I'm looking forward to your pizza. I've never had pizza made by you.
Never?
No.
That's amazing. I can't imagine the number of pizzas I've made.
No. You cook for a lot of other people.
I know, I do.
Well, you were a chef, and you weren't my personal chef.
No.
So.
Well, maybe that could be my job now. Will you pay me if I'm just your personal chef? I could quit my job and just walk around in my underwear making things.
No, just take all my money and cook.
So, oh boy.
It's been a week.
It has.
I'm a little fried at the moment.
I am excited. It's the weekend. I'm anxious to get out in the garden, and because now I'm like, it's halfway through May now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all of a sudden, it seems like I'm behind on the gardening. I'm not, but it just seems like that because we had that late cold spell.
I know. A week ago, we were not even a week ago, I was covering things up and for frost.
I know.
You were like, can you go out and remove those things? And it's 80. It's just so bizarre.
So bizarre.
I know.
Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. I hope everybody's doing well and being safe and washing your hands. We'll get through this.
We'll live.
We will.
We'll be okay. It's gonna look a lot different, but we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I wouldn't tell you to be okay if it wasn't gonna be okay.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe on that light note about
I know.
that light note about PPE in the face of a pandemic. That's a high note to end on.
I know. I'd rather end on pizza.
I know.
Pizza and confetti. All right.
Much better. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell to get the alerts, and the like button on your way out. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and our contact info is all listed down below us. Thank you for watching, and I will catch up with you tomorrow for some coffee talk, and we'll chat a little bit about Chantal and what she's been up to.
Yes.
She's not been very active this week.
No, she hasn't.
No, so we might just have a
Still early, though.
It is early. It is. We may just have a broader discussion about Chantal in general.
That could be fun,
or themes that pop up around Chantal.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's only...
But I know you love
Friday.
when you film a video, get it ready, and boom, she puts another one up.
I know.
Always happens.
I know, but that's just how it is.
Yes.
So.
All right. Well, it was great spending time with you. I hope you enjoy some pizza tonight. I really do, because it is National Pizza Day. Very, very exciting day. Mm-hmm. If you like pizza as much as we do, anyway. I know. I don't know. But anyway, please remember, everybody, be safe, be well, but above all else, be positive, okay? We'll see you next time.
Bye.